Everyone says winning is hard. That's a lie told by losers to make themselves feel better. You've been lied to since the moment you were born. They told you life was supposed to be fair, that success takes time, that if you just stay consistent, if you're patient, eventually things will fall into place. What a load of garbage. Nothing falls into place. You smash it into place. You don't get success like it's handed to you. You rip it from the world with bare hands and bleeding knuckles. People say winning is hard because they've never tasted what it feels like to earn it. They look at men who win and convince themselves there must be some trick, some shortcut, some privilege. No, the only trick is that those men decided they would never ever quit. The only shortcut is outworking everyone else. And the only privilege? It's the pain they chose to endure while the rest of you sat there making excuses. Everyone wants to be a lion, but nobody wants to do what lions do. You don't become a champion by doing what feels good. You become one by doing what's necessary. You want to feel good? Go get a massage. You want to win? Then shut up. Sacrifice your comfort and put in the work. The truth is 99% of people will never win because they're addicted to comfort. Comfort is a drug. The soft mattress, the cheap meals, the scrolling, the weekends off, the little voice that says you deserve a break. That voice is your enemy. That voice is the reason you're broke, unfit, unfocused, and constantly starting over. And the worst part, you already know it. Every time you hit snooze, every time you skip the gym, every time you pick distraction over discipline, there's a part of you that knows you're betraying your future, but you do it anyway because you haven't suffered enough. You haven't hit rock bottom. You haven't decided you're done being average. But let me tell you something real. You're not broken. You're not doomed. You're not too late. You're just undisciplined. And the moment you accept that, the moment you stop blaming the world, your childhood, your ex, the economy, the government, that's the moment you take your power back. That's the moment you realize winning is not some mythical, distant thing. It's right in front of you. But only if you're willing to stop being soft. There's hope. There's power inside you right now, but it's buried under years of self-pity and weakness. You don't need motivation, you need responsibility. You need to decide that your current life is not the one you want, and you're not leaving this planet until you build the one you do want. That's real motivation, not dopamine, not feel-good quotes, just raw, unfiltered ownership. Winning isn't for the chosen, it's for the willing. It's not about talent, genetics, or luck. It's about who's prepared to go to war with themselves every day. It's about who's willing to sacrifice who they are for who they could become. The reason most people never win is because they can't let go of their old identity. They're too emotionally attached to the weak version of themselves. They'd rather be accepted by losers than be hated for becoming something greater. They fear being alone more than they fear being a nobody. But here's the truth no one wants to say. To become a winner, you've got to become someone new. And that process, it's violent. It's lonely. It's painful. But it's also glorious, because once you start stacking wins, once you start keeping promises to yourself, once you start looking in the mirror and respecting what you see, that's when life changes. That's when your energy shifts. That's when people notice something different in your eyes. You're not supposed to stay down. You're supposed to get angry. Angry at how average you've allowed yourself to become. Angry at the lies you've told yourself. Angry enough to finally make a decision. A real decision, not a wish, not a New Year's resolution, not a temporary phase. A real commitment. Winning becomes easy when losing becomes unbearable. When you finally say, enough. I'm done playing small. I'm done with mediocrity. I'm done being just another name no one remembers. You think you're tired now? Try spending your whole life wondering what could have been. That's real exhaustion. Waking up at 50 with a body that's weak, a mind that's foggy, and a heart full of regret. That's the pain most men carry because they never chose to suffer on purpose. So here's the deal. You want to win? Then make a vow right now. A sacred internal contract. No one else has to see it. No one else even has to believe in you, but you must believe in yourself so obsessively, so ruthlessly, that quitting is no longer an option. And every time that voice of doubt shows up, you're reminded who runs this life. You do. Not your weakness, not your fear, not your past. You. The man you were born to be is not dead. He's just buried under all the nonsense you've tolerated for too long. Dig him out, sharpen him, unleash him. The world doesn't need another soft, apologetic, confused male. It needs a savage who's dialed in, locked on, and ready to dominate. That man is in you. Bring him out. I remember waking up one morning, cold apartment, phone at 2%, not a single notification, not a single reason to get out of bed, no money, no momentum, no woman lying next to me, just silence. Not the peaceful kind, the type that reminds you you're irrelevant. I stared at the ceiling and felt this weight in my chest, not depression, not anxiety, something worse, a knowing. A sharp, stabbing awareness that I was wasting my life. I wasn't losing because the world was against me. I was losing because I hadn't earned the right to win. That's a dangerous realization. It cuts deeper than any insult, any betrayal, any heartbreak. It's when you look at your life and finally admit, I did this, no one else. It's when the lies stop working. And I swear to you, that moment, that split second of brutal, soul-stripping honesty, that was the moment everything started to change. Because once you accept you're the villain in your own story, you also realize you're the only one who can flip the script. No one's coming. Not your parents, not your friends, not some guru online promising you a path to greatness. It's just you, your hands, your brain, your will. And in that realization, there's something powerful. Because once you understand no one's responsible but you stop waiting, you start building. That morning, I didn't jump up like some movie character with dramatic music playing in the background. I didn't have some magical burst of motivation. I just stood up. That's it. I stood up and said, all right, enough. No more sleeping through this life. I had no plan, no roadmap, just one decision. I refuse to lose like this. I refuse to die like this. And from that moment, I became a man possessed. Not in some delusional way, in a surgical, intentional way. I stopped talking and started doing. Every day was war. Not against the world, against the version of me that wanted to stay weak. That's the fight most men never win. They train to beat everyone else, but they never learn how to beat themselves. I had to rewire every habit, every instinct. I had to delete every excuse I'd repeated for years. I'm tired. Who cares? I don't know how. Learn. It's too late. Lie, that voice in my head, the one that always gave me an exit, I buried him. That weak, soft version of me, I executed him daily. And slowly it started to change. I didn't become rich overnight. I didn't grow wings and fly to success. But I started stacking wins, small ones. Cold shower instead of sleeping in. Gym instead of scrolling. Silence instead of arguing. Work instead of whining. No one clapped, no one noticed, but I noticed. I started respecting myself. That's the real currency. Respecting your reflection. Walking past the mirror and not avoiding eye contact. That feeling, that's what builds confidence. Not followers. Not fake applause. Knowing deep down, you're finally becoming the man you said you'd be. And let me tell you something most men will never understand. The world responds to energy. When you carry yourself like someone who doesn't fold, people notice. Opportunities show up. Not because the universe is magical, because people are drawn to strength. Not the fake kind, not puffed chests and loud mouths, but silent, disciplined, consistent power. I remember the first time someone looked at me different. I didn't even say anything. Just a look, a subtle shift in tone. They sensed it, the aura, the seriousness. That's when I knew I was dangerous, not to others, but to the life I used to live. I wasn't the same. I couldn't go back. I had sacrificed too much. Not money, identity. I burned the old me, his routines, his habits, his mindset, his mediocrity. And in that fire, I forged someone who couldn't be broken. That's the part people never see. They see the results, the car, the money, the women, the lifestyle, but they don't see the internal war, the tears, the isolation, the mental torture. And here's the truth. You have to earn your peace. You don't deserve peace just for existing. You don't deserve comfort until you've earned the right to rest. And most men, they rest before they fought. They look for balance when they haven't earned imbalance. But if you truly want to win, if you want to feel like a king in a world full of slaves, you got to suffer properly first. You got to go through hell and smile while you're there. Because that smile, forged in chaos, that's what builds unshakable confidence. That's what makes you bulletproof. Now, when I wake up, it's not confusion anymore, it's clarity. I know exactly who I am, exactly what I want, and exactly what I'm willing to do to get it. That certainty didn't come from books. It came from fire. And if you're sitting there waiting for clarity, waiting for motivation, waiting for a sign, this is it. This is the sign. Get up. Get focused. Get dangerous. Because your story's not over. In fact, it hasn't even started yet. The man you're supposed to become is waiting, but he won't wait forever. You think you have time. That's your biggest mistake. You think you've got another year to figure it out, another month to get serious, another Monday to start. That illusion is killing you slowly. Every second you waste pretending your life is on pause, the clock is not stopping. Time doesn't give a single F about your feelings. The universe doesn't care about your comfort. The world isn't holding your hand. You are running out of life. That's the truth no one tells you. One day you're gonna wake up and realize you're not young anymore. Your knees creak, your back hurts, your friends are gone, your chances are gone. And worst of all, you'll realize you did that. Not the system, not your parents, not society, you. And that's the part that'll haunt you. Not the poverty, not the missed opportunities. The haunting part is knowing you could have been him, the version of you who made it, who had the money, the physique, the women, the freedom, and you threw him away for pleasure. You traded greatness for comfort. You traded legacy for likes. And once that window closes, it never reopens. There's a point in life where no amount of motivation can fix what you broke. You won't hear this on Instagram. They'll sell you dreams. It's never too late, they say, but it is. For some men, it will be. Some of you are running out of chapters, still waiting for the plot twist. And if you don't feel fear crawling up your spine reading that, then you're already dead inside. But that fear, that tightness in your chest, that sense of dread, that's power if you use it. See, fear isn't your enemy. It's the wake-up call your brain sends when you've been asleep for too long. Fear is the signal that you're wasting your potential. It's the scream of your future self begging you not to quit. Most people run from it. But real men, they look fear dead in the eyes and say, thank you. Thank you for reminding me that life is short. Thank you for forcing me to act. Thank you for making sure I don't become another background character in someone else's story. You think you're safe because you're average. Let me tell you something. Average is dangerous. It means you're just comfortable enough to rock quietly. No alarms, no urgency, just slow, invisible decay. You'll wake up at 50 with nothing to show but a life of muted mediocrity. No adventure, no empire, no scars from the battlefield because you never stepped onto it. And the worst part? No one will care. No one builds statues for men who almost tried. No one writes songs about the guy who meant well. Legacy is earned through violence, violent effort, violent focus, violent discipline. You don't get remembered by existing. You get remembered by dominating. And if you think this doesn't apply to you, let me ask you, how many days have you wasted this year? Be honest. How many hours did you give to distractions, to comfort, to nonsense? You say you want success, but you don't act like your life depends on it. And here's the twist, it does. Every moment you delay becoming the man you're supposed to be, you betray your future. You betray your unborn children. You betray the woman who deserves a real man beside her. You think you're just skipping a workout? No. You're teaching your soul that quitting is acceptable. Every skipped rep is a signal. Every snoozed alarm is a surrender. You're not resting, you're rehearsing failure. But I'm not here to bury you. I'm here to resurrect you. Because the beautiful part is this, no matter how deep you've sunk, the climb out is possible. It won't be easy, it won't be fun, but it will be worth it. The pain you feel transforming your life is the tax you pay to escape hell. And when you start moving with urgency, not tomorrow, today, you start bending reality, time starts working for you instead of against you. People start respecting you. Doors start opening, not because the world changed, you did. You stopped sleepwalking through life and started acting like a man who knew the value of every single breath. There are men out there right now, right this sec, living the life you dream of. They're waking up in luxury, training with intensity, planning empires, shaking hands with power, building their names into something eternal. And you're sitting here scrolling, wishing, while they're winning. And you want to talk about motivation? They don't need it. They built discipline. They built identity. They earned their momentum. And you can too if you stop treating your life like it's disposable. If you start understanding that every wasted moment is a knife in your legacy. You don't get another round, you get this one. And when it's gone, when the final second ticks out, you'll either die fulfilled or full of regret. There is no third option. So this is the part where you decide. You can keep living like your time is infinite, chasing dopamine, avoiding challenge, pretending you're the exception. Or you can wake up. Not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, now. Because winning isn't about being special, it's about being serious. And if you haven't been serious about your life yet, then let this be the moment you snap out of it. No one's coming to save you, but no one can stop you either, unless you let them. Liberation, you've got breath in your lungs. That's the only permission you need. You're alive. You've got blood pumping, hands that work, eyes that see, and a mind that knows deep down you're meant for more. So what's your excuse? What story are you telling yourself that keeps you mediocre? You think the world cares about your pain? It doesn't. But I do. Not because I'll coddle you, because I know what you could be if you just stop lying to yourself. The truth is brutal. Your life is your fault. Every weakness, every failure, every missed opportunity, you had a hand in it. And that's good, because it means you also have the power to change it. That power has always been yours. You just got lazy or scared or both. You don't need more motivation. You need clarity. You need to understand that the man you dream about being is real, not in some fantasy land, but in this reality. And he's not built in a single day of hype. He's built in the mornings when you get up with no energy and still train. He's forged in the nights when everyone else is relaxing and you're planning, building, grinding in silence. He's formed in rejection and discipline, in ruthless self-respect. Every rep, every deal, every sacrifice, that's a brick. And you either build your throne or you dig your grave. There is no neutral. There's no pause button. You're either becoming unstoppable or you're submitting to comfort disguised as taking it easy. The men who win, they're not lucky. They're not blessed with some magical gift. They're just willing to do what others aren't. They don't need approval. They don't wait for signs. They move. They decide. They act with intention while everyone else scrolls through noise. And when they fall, they don't whine, they don't blame, they adjust. The world doesn't break them, it sharpens them. You've got that same capacity, but you spent so long numbing your edge with distractions that you've forgotten how sharp you really are. Get it back. Reignite the beast inside you, that primal hunger to conquer, to create, to become more than just a passive observer of your own life. We're not born to exist in the background. You're not put on this planet to be a spectator while other men write their legacy. You're here to lead, to dominate, to leave behind echoes so loud they roar long after you're gone. But that doesn't happen by chance. It happens by choice. You have to choose to suffer now so you can be free later. You have to choose the lonely road, the disciplined path, the one with no applause, no validation, just raw forward motion. Because once you build enough momentum, the game shifts. The world starts to bend to your will. People start noticing. Respect finds you. Power magnetizes toward you, but only if you've earned it with sweat, sacrifice, and unbreakable standards. And here's the secret no one tells you. Winning is addictive. Once you start stacking small wins, they compound. One cold shower becomes 2 weeks of consistency. One brutal workout becomes a physique you never thought possible. One focused week becomes a business that pays you while others sleep. And suddenly, you're not trying to change anymore. You're unstoppable, but it starts with a choice. A hard one, the kind that hurts, the kind most men run from, the kind that makes you look in the mirror and admit, I've been wasting my potential. That moment right there is the catalyst. That's when your transformation begins. There's no roadmap for greatness. There's no formula that guarantees success, but there is one law that never fails. Those who suffer willingly in the short term dominate in the long term. You either pay the price now or you pay forever. That's not negative. That's liberating, because it means every drop of sweat, every rejection, every lonely hour, it's all stacking towards freedom. You're not just grinding, you're carving your throne out of stone. And when you sit on it with everything they said you couldn't have, there won't be pride, there'll be certainty. You'll know you earned it and no one can take it from you. So if you're still waiting for someone to come save you, stop. No mentor, no program, no quote is gonna fix what you refuse to face. You are the weapon, you are the answer, you are the variable between average and extraordinary, but only if you act like it right now. Because there's no better moment, there's no perfect day, there's just this one. And you're either using it to climb or letting it bury you. Don't confuse being awake with being alive, don't mistake motion for purpose. Move with direction, wake up with fire, go to war with mediocrity like your life depends on it. Because it does. And I promise you, on the other side of the pain, beyond the discipline, past the isolation, There's a life so powerful it makes every sacrifice worth it. There's peace and purpose. There's glory in knowing you gave everything. There's honor in becoming a man the world cannot ignore. And once you've tasted that, you'll never settle again. Because you'll have become what you were always meant to be. A champion in a world of cowards. A lion among sheep. A king who built his own crown. There's a moment in every man's life when silence gets loud, when your reflection starts whispering things you've been trying to avoid, when you look in the mirror and that voice doesn't lie anymore. It tells you exactly who you are. Not the filtered version you show your friends, not the one you build on social media, the real you, the untrained, undisciplined, underachieving, half-committed version you've allowed to exist under the illusion that time is infinite. But let me make this crystal clear. You don't have time. The clock is your enemy, and every second you hesitate, you empower weakness to spread like a virus through your soul. You were never meant to survive life, you were meant to dominate it. To conquer your reality with the sharp edge of discipline and the fire of belief. And if you don't, someone else will. Someone who's willing to bleed while you sleep. If you knew how close you were to becoming unrecognizable to your past self, you'd never waste another minute. You'd get up early, eat clean, train hard, learn fast, move with intent, not because someone told you to, but because the idea of staying the same disgusts you. You become violent with your laziness, brutal with your doubts, and absolutely merciless with your excuses. That's what it takes to win. To make sure your name gets remembered, not forgotten, to create a life so powerful that even your haters become your followers. But first, you've got to kill the version of yourself that's addicted to comfort, the one who hides behind potential, the one who calls procrastination patience and weakness balance. You've been sold a dream that tells you everything is supposed to feel good. That's a lie. Nothing worth having ever felt easy in the beginning. It's war. And war doesn't care about your feelings. I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm here to make you look in the mirror and realize that if you don't take control now, you never will. Your window is closing. You're not going to feel ready next week. You're not going to get permission from the universe. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you greatness. You have to take it. And that requires pain. It requires sacrifice. You want the lifestyle, but you don't want the lonely night. The car, the house, the status, but you don't want the pressure. Let me tell you something. The pressure is a privilege. If you're not under pressure, you're not growing. If your life feels easy, you're already decaying. Comfort is the silent assassin of every man's destiny. It kills without noise, without warning. One day you just wake up and realize it's too late, that your shot is gone, that your moment passed because you were too scared to move. But you're not done. Not yet. There's still breath in your lungs. There's still a fire buried beneath the doubt, and that means it's not over. It means there's still time to rewrite the narrative, to prove to yourself that every scar was just fuel, that every time life beat you down, it was setting the stage for your comeback. You've been operating at 10% of your potential, and you know it. Deep inside, you know you're capable of becoming the kind of man that walks into a room and changes the energy. The kind that doesn't need to speak loudly to command respect. A man of principle, of standards, of results. But you have to earn that. No shortcuts, no cheats, just discipline, direction, and a burning refusal to be average. I want you to feel this in your bones. You're not here to fit in. You're not here to play nice, to shrink yourself so others feel comfortable. You were born to break cycles, to obliterate mediocrity, to build a reality where every day feels like a victory lap. But that world doesn't exist unless you build it. Brick by brick, day by day, decision by decision. No one's coming to rescue you from your excuse. That's your job. That's your duty. And if you don't fulfill it, you'll die, full of potential and empty of results. Do you really want that to be your legacy? Do you want your story to be a warning instead of an example? This is your line in the sand, right here, right now. This is the moment you either rise or rot. You either become the savage that life tried to break or the slave it succeeded in taming. You don't need more information. You don't need another course, another quote, another motivational video. You need action. Ruthless, consistent, daily action. You want confidence? Earn it. You want power? Build it. You want freedom? Bleed for it. The throne is empty, but not for long. It belongs to the one who moves while others talk, who fights while others wait, who commits while others contemplate. Make sure that man is you, because if not now,